How are you, my friend? My Facebook friends. This is Samson King here. I want to use this moment again to pray for those people who were victims of the shootings in Florida, for their families. It's so disturbing, and but there's some things that happen in life that you don't have control over. And the best thing we can do to those families is to pray for them. One of the greatest things we can do for somebody to show your love is to pray for that person. You can give them money, you can give them stuff, but when you pray for somebody, it's one of the best things that can happen to that person. So, once again, we lift up those families before God. We ask that the comfort of God, the wisdom of God, will rest upon them, and the peace of God will also come upon the entire state of Florida. And we also use this time to pray for our leaders as well. You see, even though they might not be able to completely eradicate something like this, because we live in a fallen world, but they actually can, exercise some wisdom to nip this in the bud so that things like this don't happen every time. So we pray for those in authority and we ask for wisdom for them as well to do that. All right. Tomorrow, if you're in Columbus, Ohio, join me tomorrow and my good friend, the Muides, and of course our host, Pastor Emmanuel Ina and his beautiful wife. We're going to be talking about marriage tomorrow. Marriage is one of the institutions that God created. When I was growing up, I did not want to get married. I made up my mind I wasn't going to get married. Why? Because the examples that I saw around me were were not interesting. So I said, you know what? If this is what marriage is all about, I don't want to get married. And then years later, I began to see from that good book, the Bible, I began to see that the reason why God actually created the institution of marriage is to make life easier, make life better for us. And for the fact that somebody take a knife and use it to stab people doesn't mean the intent for creating that knife is what that guy is using it for. For the fact that somebody is using his car, abusing his car, just driving anyhow, and then probably running into people and killing people with his vehicle. It doesn't mean that is the reason why the designer of the vehicle designed that tool. So until you actually have some information about the purpose behind something, you may not be able to maximize it. So I saw that marriage is an institution that God has designed to make life better for us. So when I found out that, then I began to look for the right woman to marry. And to the glory of God, one of the meanings of the word to marry is to become another person. My marriage has changed me. So if you're not ready to become another person, if you're not ready to change, you don't want to get married, because marriage is supposed to change you. My marriage has changed my life. My marriage has taken me to places. My marriage has made me to become an author. My marriage has brought so many things into my life, and of course there are challenges that come with marriage as well. That and many other things we're going to be sharing tomorrow by 5 p.m. You can look at the flyer for detail. We're going to have a great time. Let's come and talk. It's good to talk. Come on, ask questions. Many of the teachings that Jesus gave in the Bible, they came as a result of questions. So questions is good. So I'm looking forward to that time. And tomorrow by 5 p.m. at Pastor Emmanuel's church, we are going to be having a great time. We're going to talk about love. We're going to talk about the origin of the institution of marriage. We're going to talk about how to, make your spouse feel special. What are the things you can do to actually make your marriage exciting? We're going to talk about some of the challenges that we face as, newly married people, even elderly married people, if there's any word like that. We're going to talk about that as well. By the grace of God, I've been married for 14 years. It has been the best 14 years of my life. And there's some information that God has, given to us that we can share together. We're going to talk about anything that you can imagine of. We're going to talk about sex. in marriage, what, you know, sexual relationship can bring, the dynamics that it can bring to your marriage. So once again, tomorrow, make sure you find time to come if you're in Columbus, Ohio. And if you're not in Columbus, Ohio, hopefully one of these days we're going to do a live event like that. But I'm looking forward to that time. So if you're not going to be there, pray for us. And we're going to have a great time. Once again, this is Samson King letting you know, no matter what you're going through or what is going through you, you are expected to win because God is with you. Have a great weekend. God bless you. Once again, see you tomorrow. Don't forget to look at the flyer for details of the venue and the time and many other things. Bye-bye.